What's up there, SEO pros? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to make $2,500 a month doing local SEO services. And I'm going to be giving you a real example of a client that I just got recently about a month ago for $2,500. So before we get started, if you want to catch these streams live, make sure you head to the bell icon next to the subscribe button down below and press it so that you can get notified and join other people in chat, which they should be in pretty soon right now. So also there's a free audit template you can get of mine, which is actually what I use to get this client in the description of this video. And also I'll leave a link to the Facebook group where there's a bunch of other SEOs that you can interact with. I think there's about 16,000 people in the group right now. All right, so let me show you the client. So here's the $2,500 payment. And let's just go into the first email that I got from them. So originally, I had somebody reach out to me saying, "Hello, Chase. I own SwiftClean. We provide house cleaning in Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, and Ventura. I would like an audit of our current site and a quote to fix it all the issues. Thank you." So what I did is I got on a call with them. As I said in my last video, which if you haven't seen the last video called how to get your first SEO client and make $1,000, go check that video out. I actually talk about how I get my clients and how I bring them into a phone call and then sell to them off of that phone call. But yeah, every time I talk to these people, I always make sure to call them instead of just emailing them. So I get on a phone call. I basically tell them that I want to do an audit. It's going to cost about $500. And within that audit, I solve all of the issues that, or I identify all the issues that are going to be affecting the site on a site-wide basis. So pretty much anything that has to do with indexation or site speed, any of that stuff. For the most part, I get about 90% of people to say yes to the $500 audit. It's pretty easy. And again, in the link in the description, I actually go over in a video after you get the template how I do, how I'm actually able to sell the audits consistently for $500. But anyways, if I go into the next part, here's the audit intake. Basically just a list of all the things that, what they're currently doing, what's the average value of the customer, who are the competitors, just basic questions, right? We sent over the proposal after the audit call, which the audit call was about an hour long, just talking about, what we're going to be doing for the website, all the different phases. And actually in my certification, sorry, you weren't seeing that screen right there. Let me bring this down. In my certification, I actually record me going over the audit and actually selling the contract for $2,500. So if you guys are interested in seeing that call, definitely send an email at hello@chaserender.com and we can get you on a call to get you in the certification. But anyway, so let me go into what we've currently done and sort of what we're going to be doing for the website in order to get to rank, and then also sort of just like what I would recommend to you guys in order to sort of be able to do the same thing. So here is the report, the first report. And again, the way I do this is I have 3 different phases. And it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So if I go into my notepad, I'll just outline this for you really quick. So phase 1, again, is just addressing any issues that are going to be happening with the website from a site-wide perspective. So let me just show you what that looks like. We'll just go into phase 1 for one of our, this is our template. And you can see here, again, we're addressing all of the issues on a site-wide basis that have to do with on-page, site architecture, indexation, Google Search Console, Google Analytics. And the way I do this is I will just put on X's like this. I'll just say X, X, X. If it's good, if it's bad, I'll put Z's. And at the end of the audit, I'll just sort like this, Z to A, right? And the way I outline this is I tell the clients that each phase is going to take about 1 month. Now, if there's only a few things wrong with the website, then I'm not going to, I'm not going to necessarily spend all month on one phase. Like let's say they just need to get their fave icon on the website. I'm not going to charge them $2,500 for that. But I say generally all the phases take about 1 month, or about 1 month each. Now, here's what I do. So if we only have to fix one thing in phase one, which by the way, everything in phase one should take a maximum of 10 to 15 hours. So sometimes you might want to front load your work as well. If it takes 15 hours to get the work done, but you only want to agree to 10 hours back end, then you would do that. Just so you could front load the work, and then you could spend 10 hours per month from there on. But either way, so phase one, we just do SEO site-wide issues. And phase two is the individual URLs we're going to be working on. So what we'll do is we'll do something called benchmarking. And let me see if I could show you this. Phase two. So this is what phase two looks like. Basically, all of this is going to have different conditional formatting loaded into it once it's fully loaded. And we're going to be able to see what needs to be fixed based off reds and greens. But what we're doing here is we're just optimizing based off like conditional formatting, like percentages that we set. So if, for instance, like the response time's below a certain average, like let's say we want it at 2 seconds, then we're going to go and optimize that. If the click-through rate's below a certain percentage, then we're going to go and optimize that. If the average position is below a certain number, like for instance, it's like 3 or greater, then we're going to go and start doing internal links to those pages. So all of these have different things that we do. You don't necessarily have to get into all of this, but this is the way I lay it out for the clients. And a lot of them are really happy with the way it works. And usually I'll say we do the top, phase two, we do the top 10 to 20 URLs, optimizing them on an individual basis. From there, we go into phase three, which is building out new pages. So let's say they have most of their optimizations done to these pages, which by the way, it's not just SEO based, it's also highly content based. So if they're not hitting their averages in terms of their duplicate content percentages, if they have like a bunch of duplicate content, then we're going to want to work on that by getting more content or deleting the other content that's duplicated. And then the same thing with the averages on here. This is actually a list of all the different averages that need to be met based off a software that I had created from Agency called Benchmarketer. And this will actually tell us if they're below the deficit for images, or if they're below the average for images, word counts, heading counts, all those kind of things. So a lot of it is content based. And if they're not hitting on all these averages, that's what we work on first within phase two. After that, after we do like the first 20 to 40 URLs, which is generally where 80% of most people's traffic comes from, then we figure out if we want to keep the other URLs that are on the website that aren't ranking and work on those, or if we want to build out new pages. And then once we go into building out the new pages, we go into something like Ahrefs, do some competitor research, figure out like with Content Gap, what the competitors are ranking for that these people aren't ranking for. And then we go build out a keyword list that we want to tackle, figure out the averages that we need to hit. And then we go ahead and hit on those averages by ordering content or having the website owners write the content. So that's how the phase one, phase two, phase three works. And that's sort of how I outline it for the clients. And that's how I'm able to get the $2,500 a month contracts. You can see here's the first report. Basically, we just talk about all of the issues that we identified within phase one, and then all of the issues that we fixed within phase one. So along with analytics or Search Console comparisons and a game plan for next month. So that's pretty much how it works. Let me show you more specifically sort of what you need to identify with local SEO so you guys have an idea like what's going to be listed within phase one, phase two, phase three. Generally, when you're doing this stuff, it should be outlined in a very step-by-step formula, which is why I created my certification. But if you just want to learn like basics right now, I'll show you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just go and let me just put this down a little bit. I'm going to show you how to basically like optimize any website locally. And this is how you could sort of make like a pitch to a potential client as well. Say for instance, you wanted to get a $2,500 a month client, but you don't have anybody, looking at your your stuff and you want to get clients, you don't want to do like a video or something, this is how I would recommend you do it. So what you would do is you go into your search. I would start out with local, because local SEO I find is a lot easier because you're competing with less people than something like national. So I would start with somebody in your town, like let's say, somebody that's going to have a lot of money, like lawyers or people who own their own businesses, whatever it is. So let's just say it's lawyers, and I'll just type Santa Barbara because that's where I live. So what you can do is, let me go into here. Now, let me just tell you guys, there's only so much you can do with limited analytics and Search Console. Like if you don't have Search Console analytics, it's harder to be able to make recommendations to a website. But let me just go into like this person who's ranking a lot lower than most people. I'll go into website. Here we go. And what I'll start doing is I'll just show you the stuff off the top of my head that I see, and then I'll be able to categorize it into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, so you guys can have an idea. So first of all, let's take this website and put it into Screaming Frog, because that is one thing we can do without analytics. So I'll plug it in here, press start. And we'll filter by HTML. And while that runs, let's just start looking at the website. So the first thing that I've noticed is that there's no SSL on the website. You can see here, it says not secure. So obviously that's one thing that we want to fix, and that would be a site-wide issue. So, okay. Let's start looking at a few of their alt tags. I'll just inspect the element. And we can see that this image doesn't look like it has an alt tag. Could be wrong. Go to one of these. Just basics. I'm just looking at little things right now. Nothing, anything too insane. Alt tags are very basic. So yeah, for instance, no alt tags here. That would be an individual. That would be phase 2. I'm assuming they don't have call tracking. I don't know if that's true or not, but this may not be call tracked. And the way we can tell if it's call tracked or not is we can actually take the website, and let me just go here. And see if that's matching what the Google My Business has for the number. So 805. 892. Yeah, so it's not being call tracked. That would be a site-wide issue, because you want to see your conversion rates, especially when you go into phase 2. They have a social sidebar that doesn't, in my opinion, that doesn't really make sense to have, because why would you have a social sidebar if you're like a defense attorney? They also don't have a call to action above the fold. So there's no button for people to press right here, which is a problem, especially for the biggest traffic pages. And that would be a phase 2 individual URL optimization. And again, all of this stuff we address within phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I'm just showing you from an actual perspective how you can look at this. If we were looking at the content related averages as well, I don't want to scan it because it always makes my screen share stop working. But if I were looking at the content average for this, I'm assuming that it's probably either over optimized or under optimized for something. So I'm just going to put that in there. Content related averages not met, or main keywords. So they're not really doing internal linking to any of their other, oh, they are right here. Okay, cool. So there's the internal links. Let's check out the title tags. So Santa Barbara DUI and criminal defense. So let's go see if that's matching what they want to rank for. So the way I do this, if I don't have their search consoles, I'll go in Ahrefs, plug in their URL. And again, really low traffic, right? If we were to compare them to some of their competitors, competing domains. Like these guys, or actually, I guess these guys. So they're ranking for 1.1K versus these guys ranking for 2.2. And you know, if you're doing a cold sell versus a warm sell, like for instance, you're just presenting this to somebody that doesn't know who you are. Sometimes it is better to show them a comparison on their competitors rather than just doing the audit, because most people who contact me are already pretty much ready to buy. If I was just reaching out to a cold lead, I would probably do some sort of competitor comparison as well. So either way, we'll go into the organic keywords, see what the homepage is getting the most traffic for based on estimated metrics from Ahrefs. So Santa Barbara lawyers and then DUI attorneys. So position 2 for this, and then their big keyword, which is 300, they're position 9. So I mean, ideally, we would have their main keyword pulled to the left on this page, and then do the other qualifier after, like Santa Barbara DUI. So I'll just say from an individual perspective, phase 2, main keywords aren't optimized well for rankings in CTR. And if we were to look at the CTR for his main keywords, like Santa Barbara, lawyers, or Santa Barbara DUI attorney, which, by the way, if it was Santa Barbara DUI attorney, you would want to have that actually in the title as Santa Barbara DUI attorney. But that's Santa Barbara DUI and criminal defense, which, criminal defense only has a 50 search rate, so they're hitting on like a lower amount of search volume than they could be. And it's, what I might even do is after all of this, I can actually email this person and send them the audit, and then we could actually see, if it works. I don't know. So here we go. So DUI and drunk driving. So if we go to some of these main pages, these are the sub pages, and we can actually look at this on a tree perspective. And Screaming Frog, there's a little button right here that actually shows us sort of how the site's laid out. So it goes from here to the different practice areas, which he has about, I don't know, like 10. So if we look at all these different areas, let me see if I can plug these in. Can I do yeah, so let me go into batch analysis, plug all these in, press analyze. And you can see here that a lot of these pages, almost no traffic. Maybe one of the pages has traffic. So, I can already tell you right off the bat that these are probably not optimized very well, just for the fact that, they're not really bringing in any estimated traffic based on their keyword position and their, current estimated traffic. So the way we generally, would do this is we'd start benchmarking the top pages in phase 2, and then, and then addressing those. So I could say in phase 2 that a lot of service pages aren't ranking well. So that's a big problem, right? That means they need SEO. So if we were to go into these service pages, which let's just go into some of these different service pages. I'll free up a notepad right here. And I could actually list the service pages as well. So we could go like that. Let me just go list them out. Here they go. And let's just grab a couple of these. Let's grab this one, because this one was actually the highest trafficked one first. So 100 organic keywords. Let's see what it's ranking for. So it's interesting, 647 GPC. Let's see what the page is actually going for here. So practice area is Santa Barbara. So that's not really mapped to anything. That's not really optimized for anything. So it's just indirectly bringing in rankings. Let's see about this one. So resisting arrest lawyer. Let's see how that's going. It's so it's not even ranking for that keyword. It's ranking in position 100 for some stuff. So this isn't really ranking for anything. I don't even know if that keyword has a search rate that they're trying to go for, which was resisting arrest lawyer, Santa Barbara. Let's just go see if that even has a search. That doesn't even have a search. So yeah, none of their keywords are really optimized for what they need to be going for. If we were to do like a, an analysis, content gap analysis, what we could do is take their main domain like this, go to content gap, take some of their competitors, which I have to go back over here to get really quick. And we want the competitors to be hyper-local, really, because we don't want to be going for like big national domains. That's not going to be helpful for us. So we go to content. Oops, sorry, competing domains. Make sure these are in our town. So Santa Barbara, yeah, okay. Put that there, grab this one. This one's not really optimized at all either. And what you could do as well is you could just keep auditing lawyers in your town until one of them signs up. Because you could be like, look, I already did an audit of like everybody else in your town. They already declined me, or you don't even have to say that, but you could say you did an audit of everybody else. And, you know, I already know exactly what needs to be done based on how these other websites are doing. Okay, there we go. Boom, put that in. Take this one. And this one's Santa Barbara as well. So you can also spit them out a keyword list of all the keywords that their competitors are ranking for that they're not ranking for. Sorry, like my lips are really chapped right now. I wish I had some chapstick. Okay, so what I could do is I could just export these. Quick export. And again, you know, you could come to them with this list and be like, are any of these keywords that you want to rank for? Or you could even ask them, you could say, hey, look, also with the audit, I have a whole list of keywords that, you know, your competitors are ranking for that you're not ranking for. I just wanted to send that over to you if you're interested. And that way they'll actually respond back to you as well. So here we go. So here's the list of the volume of the searches. And these are all, again, keywords that they're not ranking for, that the competitors are. And this is just a quick list. So no fault insurance, family attorney. And a lot of these pages they could simply rank for by just putting the pages on their site. You know, and this isn't a very big list. What I would probably also do, since a lot of these aren't even optimized correctly, a lot of these other websites, is I'd actually individually go over to these separate domains, like let's say this one, and plug it in and then see what their pages are ranking for and then extract keywords out of that. Because what you'll actually end up seeing with local SEO a lot of the time is you'll see that people are ranking pages, but they're not ranking them directly for the keyword that they need to be ranking for. They're just indirectly ranked for keywords. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let me just get some chapstick. Sorry, my lips are just so chapped right now. So like, for instance, Santa Barbara law firms, that could be something that we create a subpage for, right? And the way you could see if they actually have dedicated pages for this yet is you could go into their website and you could type in site colon like this, and then do in title equals Santa Barbara law firms. And you can see here they don't have anything in title that says that, right? And so, you know, that's obviously a issue. Whoops, sorry, in title. That's obviously an issue because they could be ranking a page by having literally just that in the title. You can see here, this is actually an ad that people are using right here with that same exact title. If we keep going through, like Santa Barbara attorneys, we do site in title here. You know, again, no page for that with the title like that. DUI Santa Barbara, nothing. So, I mean, to put things in perspective, like if you wanted to rank for iPhone repair, right? iPhone repair, this is my old site that I sold. And I wanted to rank for iPhone repair, I would make sure that iPhone repair Santa Barbara was in the title, right? What did I do wrong here? Did something wrong. In title, is that not the right modifier? Or did the title get changed for the website? Might have spelt this wrong. Let me just take this modifier out. It's right there. I'm not sure why my in title modifier isn't working. Maybe it's just title now. Did they change it? It's working now. Maybe I spelled in title wrong. Whoops. Yeah, it's working now. Let me see if the I don't know what I spelled wrong on the other thing, but let's just try the Santa Barbara DUI again, because I'm pretty sure they don't have it on their page either way. sbdefenselawyer.com, and then in title, let's just see lawyer, see if that works. That works. So then let's try the DUI. Okay, so they have it in the pages, but for some reason it's not doing exact match. They don't actually have DUI Santa Barbara in the exact title though, you could see. So, you know, there's a lot of landing pages and service pages they could be creating to rank for these keywords is what I'm trying to say. So in the audit, what we would say is that, you know, a lot of these pages, the ones that we listed, a lot of service pages aren't ranking well because they haven't been optimized for anything worth ranking for. And then if we go down to the bottom, which is phase 3, which we were talking about, the first thing we'd recommend is build out new pages for keywords that we want to rank for. And a good example of this is, you know, anything in the content gap or just new keyword research like that we do. For example, we could just take some of these keywords and you know, family law attorney, divorce attorney. I don't know if they want to rank for that stuff, but we could just say, for example, some of the ones that we wanted to rank for over here, like DUI Santa Barbara. Keep going down. By the way, what's up everybody in chat? Sorry I haven't been talking a lot directly to you guys. I've been kind of focused on getting this done. Welcome Video Zeus. Welcome to here. If you guys have any questions about this right now, let me know. I definitely, I guess I can't put chat up there. I definitely, you know, am interested to hear your guys' feedback. And if you have any questions, again, just let me know if anything comes up because I'm here to help. But as I was saying, go back down here. So yeah, so in here we got some more keywords like, is California a no-fault state? Again, we just want to list out keywords for them. Drunk in public, right? And we could even say that these are keywords that their competitors are ranking for that they're not ranking for. For example, here are keywords your competitors are ranking for. We could even list the competitor that they're ranking, that's ranking. Your competitors like, there we go. So that's even more hyper specific. Boom. Stolen items, drunk in public. That's an interesting keyword. Rear-ended in California, that's a good one. Is that an actual blog post? Yeah, that's a blog post. It's a perfect example. Rear end collision. So all these really specific keywords. So these people are obviously doing SEO, right? And it's funny, it's a blog post they wrote back in 2016. And just by going through these, you'll actually see a lot of the time, like I said, they'll have pages that are ranking indirectly that aren't even really optimized for their keywords, and you can just pull those for the potential client. How many years? Santa Barbara injury lawyer. Just tons of pages that you can create, which is, look at this, how to fight a drunk in public. I don't know why that's funny. So you get the point. First time DUI in California. We'll just take that last one. And you could even get more specific too and say how many searches are for each of these keywords. I forgot to do that, but it's fine. So yeah, so there's that. So we already got a little bit of phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 without having any analytics, right? Let me just make this smaller. Font. Yeah, and so I just got a comment from Jaresh. He says, beware, man, a lot of people may contact this lawyer and may pitch them the same idea. You may land in some trouble. Always put some kind of disclaimer about your such demonstrations. Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that I tell people is that, when I want to pitch to somebody like, hey, look, I do SEO, and it's like a cold lead, I'm going to lead with whatever is uniquely specific to that client. So if I specialized in that niche, that would be one thing I would want to say. If I am hyper local, meaning I'm not just like some random company, I actually live in Santa Barbara, that would be another thing I want to say. If I, anything that I could do, like if I somehow knew somebody else who's a lawyer in Santa Barbara and then that somehow correlated, you want to be able to try to reach out by connecting as many dots as possible, making this outreach as specific to that person as possible. That's why I will specifically do keyword research for a competitor that's specific to their area, specific to them, right? That's ranking for keywords that they're not ranking for. You want to just make it as personal as possible. And again, I don't do a lot of cold outreach. I don't do any cold outreach because I don't need to, but I'm just telling you theoretically how I would do it. So if we go back into the website, and by the way, I'm pretty sure you can't get in trouble for auditing somebody's website because it's all public information. So I don't know like what people would do, because of that. That wouldn't make sense to me. Yeah, so if we go into some of the other practice, like the about, there's other things in here I'm sure that they're not doing, like schema markup. So if we went into structured data testing tool, sorry, I forgot to put this back down. So they got their schema markup on every page. The legal service, that should just be on the home page. They don't have about markup. So that would be a phase 1 issue. If we go into, there are different practice areas. So all the things they're trying to rank, all these different pages. You know, I don't know how unique this content is, but let's just go into SiteLiner and see. And let's also check out their page speed. So actually not too bad at duplicate content. Looks like the highest real percentage is like 11%. So not too bad. It's just the content isn't very lengthy, and I'm pretty sure if we were to benchmark mark a lot of this stuff, it's probably way under the content related averages. Holy cow, this is a long wait. Okay, so we'll have to come back to that. We could check if the site was mobile friendly. It is. It's responsive. We could see if the contact form is working. What just happened? I just pressed tab and it just moved me out of that. That was weird. They're gonna be so weirded out if they see this. They'll be like, what is this test at test.com? Who's testing my website? So you can see there that that didn't redirect. Oh, apparently. Okay, we'll just do an 805 number. Try that. Oh, they have a redirect. Thank you. Okay, so I think somebody's doing a little bit of SEO because they have a redirect. So that means they're probably doing conversion tracking, which is good, but we don't know for sure. So yeah, I mean, really the biggest thing is just like these three phases. A lot of the other stuff is like individual issues, which, you know, a lot of it really comes down to fixing these first things that you end up seeing a lot of other issues come up along with that. But I mean, a lot of it's just content based, optimizing the right pages. Pretty basic stuff that you're going to see with the website. So, I mean, again, this is how you can pretty much pitch these guys on sort of what recommendations you want to make. I mean, I could right now, if I wanted to, I could say, hey, I was just looking around. Let me see if I can make a video. Let me see if I could do this. Oh, I'd have to stop the recording though. I have to stop the recording for this video. Listen, I don't even need to do it. I'm just going to go like this. One of the things you can do is you can go to Email Hunter. It's a Chrome extension. Usually you'll be able to find emails. So let me just go. Where is it? Chrome. And I don't recommend you do videos. I would usually recommend that you do a video. I mean, I don't recommend that you do emails. I usually recommend that you do like a video where it's like, hey, how's it going, William? My name is Chase, right? So it shows up to them as like something very personal. But let me go try to find Email Hunter. I guess I uninstalled it. Email Hunter. And Chrome extension. Add to Chrome. Sorry, I keep forgetting to put my video down. My other video. Add extension. We go back to the website. Here it is. Press this. And for some reason, it's not showing me it until, I guess I can go to this page and I can find it. I think this is info at SB Defense Lawyer. So here I go. New email. And actually, I'm pretty sure I know this guy indirectly because I used to work at a company that did IT for him. I will. So I want to make it really specific. I used to work for John Underhill, right? Now I don't know if they call him William or Will. Are you? I used to work for John at QIS Project. Just for fun, I was, I actually left that company a few years ago to get into internet marketing and specifically SEO. Just for fun, I spent some time auditing your website, and I saw that you were ranking for 200 keywords opposed to some of your competitors, such as where was it? Country law. Who was ranking for keywords like this? I also got a list of your other competitors' keywords if you want me to send them over. I actually right now have the highest rated SEO business on Google, located in Santa Barbara. If you'd like, I can share the full details with you over a phone call or record a video for you free of charge. Either way, hope you are killing it. Chase Renner. So that's how I will probably end up doing that. Let me actually go into my other account to do this. And new mail. Info at, I don't even remember what it was. Info at, and again, for cold outreach, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this, but I will keep you posted to see if they actually do respond. Boom. I will used to work for John Underhill. Hey, Will, I used to work. May not remember me, but I came by a few times to help you with your printer, and I used when so that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna send it over. Send it now. Sunday. So that's pretty much it. Again, the way I would probably do it if I was like really wanting to, you know, if I was really wanting to like get the client, I would probably do like a video, and that would probably be more likely to get the client. So that's pretty much how you guys can start making $2,500 a month selling local SEO. Again, the way I would bring them into the process, just like I did with the other client at the very beginning of this video that I showed you earlier, is I would pretty much just pitch them the audit, say, hey, look, I want to do a full audit, but I need to get analytics and Search Console access, and basically just go through and run through it. It's only $500, and if you want, you could take that to somebody else, but I recommend anybody, at least we check out your foundation. And again, the way I pitch it is I say, hey, look, think about it this way. If you have a house and, you don't know if there's any leaks or cracks in this foundation, and you're trying to do your marketing, right? You're spending money on marketing, which, by the way, most lawyers are spending money on marketing. Most people should be spending money on marketing if they are a business. Then, let's at least make sure that you're not doing anything wrong, right? So what you do is you pitch to them. You say, hey, look, let's get that done. It's $500. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to work on your phase 2, which is your individual URLs. And that's how we go actually after fixing all of your site-wide issues. We then go fix all of your individual URLs. We go and dial in all the content related averages, the internal linking, all this stuff I was showing you guys earlier on the phase 2 benchmarking, everything that we see sort of as examples in the document I created right here, right? So any specific page issues like alt tags, no CTAs above the fold, content related averages, main keywords not being optimized well for rankings and CTRs. And then we go into phase 3, which is building out new pages for keywords that we want to rank for, such as the pages that we identified or the keywords that we identified. So I'll just go ahead and put all of this in the description just in case you guys want to look over that again. And again, all of this is available within the audit template that's in the description of this video. I'll put it in chat right now so you guys can access it. It's just chasewriter.com/audits. And you can also see more specifically how I pitch the audit template in that video that you get right after you get the template. So I'm going to take a few questions, and then I'm going to probably sign off, and I have to go to the gym. That's mainly why I need to sign off. But do any of you guys have any questions about this process? So we have, hey Chase, 2 questions. Is it okay to email some for solicitation, just concerned about canned spam laws? Also, best way to scrape leads for free until one can afford a decent lead generation tool. I mean, dude, there's people who send out millions of emails a day and they don't get in trouble. So like, I think it just depends on how you do it. In terms of like doing it for solicitation, this is somebody that I actually sort of know as well. So it's like, it's kind of a little bit different in my opinion. If it's just a bunch of random businesses, I don't know, dude, like, cause I'm not really asking them for any money, right? I'm just emailing them and saying, hey, if you want a free call with me, here it is, just to go over it. It's not like I'm not emailing them and saying, hey, let me sell you this thing right now, right? So I don't think it's necessarily, also, if you send through a contact form as well, you send through a contact form instead of a direct email, that there's no laws against that. Chase, can you tell me what will affect if I add a no follow on conversion page? What will the effect be? Well, you won't get people hitting your conversion page off of Google and then triggering your conversion. So that's really the reason why you do that. Truth Seeker says, I tried that extension, but it won't take my regular email. Apparently it requires a business email. I've never heard of that. That's really weird. Maybe it has to be an actual domain, not just like a Gmail. Would you use Meetup? So yeah, actually, I probably should do a video for that in the future, but I used to use Meetup all the time to get clients. And I actually got some pretty high paying clients off of Meetup. Basically, the process is you just do a Meetup. You teach people how to do SEO or internet marketing or whatever it is. They show up. Most people who attend those meetups already are pretty much pre-qualified because they're already business owners trying to improve their SEO. And then they, a lot of the time, will actually end up wanting to hire you because people more often want to hire people locally or people that they actually meet and know that can demonstrate to them what they know more than they want to hire just random people off the internet. Careful doing contract services for lawyers. If you fuck up even in the slightest, it's nothing for them to sue you. Yeah, I know, but again, that's why we have contracts. We get people to sign contracts before anything, really. I mean, I know lawyers can find ways around contracts, but, you know, I've had a few lawyer clients and I haven't had any problems. No download for the audit on your ClickFunnels page. When you put in your email, it gives you the template to your email. The more I see, the less I know. It's all good, man. It's all just part of the process. Sabash says, would you advise to make different pages for keywords which have monthly search of 20 to 50, or just use them on a single page? So I like to build like clusters of content. So like if you have specific keywords that aren't ranking number one, like let's say our key phrases, let's say you have, let's say for iPhone repair, you have iPhone 7, iPhone 6, right? But let's say you have one page that's ranking for both. Well, generally having more hyper-specific pages that you can internal link and that you can build as like clusters of content, you're going to end up ranking those individual pages better than you would rank one bigger authority page. But it just also depends on what you're trying to rank for. If you're trying to rank for like, let's say, just iPhone repair Santa Barbara, then you generally want to have one main page for that, but then have other pages sort of having that key phrase in those as well that you're trying to rank. So I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to rank for. Also informational based posts, like one, for an example, I ranked a website for beginner fishing tips, and now it's ranking for like halibut fishing tips, cod fishing tips, like all these things. So the problem with that is even though it's ranking well, like, let's say average position 7 for those other keywords, by having other more relevant pages, you're going to end up ranking those other pages. Those are going to take precedence, and it's more than likely going to take the ranking away from the other page and then funnel that into the new authority of the new page you're creating. Still waiting after 7 minutes for the template. So a lot of people have had to go into their junk email to get it for some reason. Will you be considering taking interns? Sent you 2 emails in the past week for application. I am willing to work for free, contribute to your organization, learn SEO from you. So we're not doing interns right now because I already have a couple people that I'm teaching internally. And what we're actually doing is we're funneling people through the certification, and then we're probably going to end up hiring some of them. So right now we're not doing interns, but we might in the future again soon. Thomas says, Chase, there is what looks to be a monthly option for your benchmarking software. Is this accurate? There used to be. I don't know if it's still there. I was thinking about putting that back soon because I know a lot of people want it. But yeah, I might put that back at some point. Any chance to see your contract template? Yeah, I can show you guys the contract template. I have to pull it up. I'll do it on another video because I have to go through my Basecamp and everything and find it. What's up, SEO pros? Thomas says I would be interested for certain. I know it's on the Moon commerce option. On the Moon. Oh, Moon Clerk. Gotcha. Yeah, some people have still been finding like my templates in my courses, and they've been buying them, even though we made them all unavailable. Injecting the schema JSON LD site-wide on every page. It depends on what you're injecting. If you're doing like individual page markup, then you want it on single pages. If you want to do site-wide pages, then you would do site-wide, right? Thanks again for all the great help you have on your channel, Chase. I really appreciate it. I agree the contract would be incredibly valuable. Okay, well, I'll make a different video and I'll make a download option for that or something. All right, guys, so that's it. Hopefully you guys now have a little bit of an idea on how I make $2,500 a month selling local SEO services, and you can too. So until I see y'all next time, happy SEOing.